It is the Riot podcast with no Nikki today on Monday, March 27th. Nikki has begun her time off adventure. She's got a vacation going on, and so she's going to be out for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be an extended time off for her, so hopefully she'll enjoy that. And hopefully she has more vacation time for later in the year, not because I want to get rid of her, just because it would suck to burn all of your time off.
In March?
Before by Easter. All your time off is used up. If
she doesn't, I'm trying to remember back to last year when Nikki took time off. How many days
she got off?
Not even how many days, but when she went on trips. Did she go on any trips?
She definitely did. This is crazy. You think back to last year. Last year, she got COVID and was gone for like a week with COVID.
Like a year ago now?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
And she took a couple vacations here and there. One around probably like Thanksgiving, do you think?
I don't really remember.
Thanksgiving time off?
I think she just took Thanksgiving time off. Oh, no, she did. She did take Thanksgiving time off and she left. She traveled.
Yeah. She did a couple of traveling things.
And then she took off like a while. I mean, everything around Christmas. She was gone for all December.
That's right.
Did she do something in the summertime?
I don't remember. I think she did save up everything and kind of use it towards the end of the year. So maybe she's thinking differently this time around.
She's going to burn it quick.
Yeah. She's going to go through it.
Wild.
Which I'm on the opposite end. I'm trying to save it up. I know I'm taking a summer vacation, at least one. I've got a trip already booked, so we'll see.
I like to kind of sprinkle it around.
Yeah.
I just take off Friday, Thursday.
Yeah,
Friday, Thursday. It's kind of how I've done it. But today, one of the times we talked about Aldi.
We do get to Aldi because you've got a great question about buying store brand stuff.
Yeah.
But the reason it came up is because Aldi has a new line of merch. It seems like they might do this from time to time where they put out Aldi branded merch as part of their Aldi deals. And the merch, you wouldn't buy it, would you? Like it's Aldi branded. Would you?
No way.
You don't even shop at Aldi, do you?
I don't shop at Aldi at all.
Do you even know what Aldi is?
I've been there one time, and I didn't really understand what I was getting myself into. Is that the place that you have to pay to use a cart?
That is, yeah.
Not
exactly pay, but you need to have a quarter.
Which is so dumb.
Which is one of the merch items you could buy is an Aldi quarter holder that's branded Aldi.
See that?
Because why else would you need a keychain quarter holder for any other store?
Why would they even do that? Because when I went, I didn't have a quarter, so I didn't get a cart.
Because the reason they do that is because you see other grocery stores and stuff, the carts get taken off to who knows where.
Nobody's stealing carts.
They are. You see like Dollar General carts, they're all over the place. And they never have them at the actual Dollar General.
Yeah, that's
because they've all been like moved, taken away.
Yeah, I just think
so
it's
that's why Aldi. I don't know
concept.
how much that really adds up to that Aldi needs to do that, but that's why.
Makes sense, I guess.
And they don't have to pay somebody because you have to bring it back to where the carts are to get your quarter back. They don't have to pay somebody to go wrangle carts, and
makes sense.
They don't have carts just randomly sitting out in the parking lot for people to hit with their cars, taking up parking spaces. So it's actually kind of nice.
Does Aldi you think they have good stuff?
What do you mean?
They have good stuff in there.
Some of it is quite good. Yeah.
You think where's it rank? Better than Kroger?
The problem with Aldi is they don't have the selection of Kroger. So you can't, especially I always find if I need to buy dog food, I don't want to go to Aldi to do it. And so what happens is if I go to Aldi, I'll get some deals on some stuff, but then I still have to make at least one other grocery trip. And I like to get it all done one-stop shop. So that's why I don't always tend towards Aldi, but the deals are good.
But you think it really is?
You can save money on Aldi.
You can definitely save money there.
Yeah, if you're willing to go make multiple trips to different grocery stores as well.
So, but we're talking about grocery stores. What do you think about Whole Foods? You ever been in there?
Whole Foods is a little out of my price range.
It's pricey,
generally.
isn't it?
Isn't
that wild? I've never even shopped in there. I went in there to return something for Amazon because they have like an Amazon packaging thing in there. But I've never even walked around in there. But I can just by the smell. I just know they don't have a lot of things I like. I just know they don't. Smell alone.
Does it smell too healthy for you?
It smells really fresh in there.
Yeah.
It smells like things that have been grown, not things that have been processed. And that's how I know that this is not a place for me. And I can tell by the people that are walking around in there.
Yeah, they have fancy hair.
We look like we don't have much in common, and I can tell that they probably like some of the finer things in life, and they're willing to spend money on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you stick
I'm
out
just
like
not
a sore
for.
thumb. Yeah.
Not for that.
Yeah.
And you'll hear about that when we talk about some of the things that we're okay with the store brand stuff rather than name brand, but there are a couple things in the podcast that we talk about that are name brand that are must-haves.
That's right. So think about what yours is. You can still text it in at 8772 RadioU. Nikki will be back, but it's going to be a little while. She's got a nice extended break set up. And also, I should mention that if you missed the spring fundraiser, we could still use some help at RadioU.com if you want to donate. You don't want to miss out on that. And if you did donate, thank you very much.
And coming up on Wednesday, Would You Rather Wednesday returns.
That's right.
So if you guys want to text them in and you want us to talk about it, text them in. 8772 RadioU.
Anything else to add?
That's all we got.
All right. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
And so I have 3 options for you of countries that I've found where you may be able to visit for free.
For free?
Yeah, you want a free vacation?
I'd love a free vacation.
I have at least one option for you that seems to be all expenses paid. And that is, how would you like to visit Finland? The country
Sounds pretty
of Finland.
cool.
Finland should be nice, right?
It sounds good enough. I don't really know much about Finland, but I would be willing to give it a go if it's free.
Well, I don't think a lot of people here know a lot about Finland besides that. Like, if you were to name some Finland facts, you got any?
I would say they speak Finnish.
Good point. That is true, actually. Anything
than
else?
that would be...
That's the only thing you know.
That would be all that I know.
Let me share a few more with you. One ties into this. The first one is Finland, the inventors of the sauna.
The sauna? Oh, they're big. I have read about that. They're big sauna people.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And they believe in all the benefits of it. They say it's really, really good for you.
Uh-huh. And so that is one thing you might be able to enjoy there. And then the second thing is they are routinely named the happiest country in the world.
We've talked about this before.
Yep.
Yes.
In fact, they just got named the happiest country in the world for the 6th consecutive year, which is part of why their tourism board wants to bring you there, and they want to teach you how to be happy.
I'm cool with that.
They are inviting 10 foreigners that need to speak at least a little bit of English. That's really the stipulation. You need to be able to speak English. You need to not be from Finland. And they're going to be bringing 10 people there for free this June. It's going to be a 4-day masterclass in how to find your inner Finn. And so it's going to take you to the all-inclusive Kuru Resort.
I'm with that all-inclusive resort. I like all these things you're saying.
All that sounds good to you?
Yes.
You sure it doesn't sound like the setup for a horror movie?
It kind of sounds like I'm going to get there and they're going to be doing a bunch of weird stuff to make me like happy, and then it's end up like making me evil or something.
Yeah,
it sounds like a scary movie.
There might be. You get there, it's an all-inclusive resort where they don't say you can't leave, but you can't leave.
And the people are all too happy. They're way too happy.
Creepily happy.
Yeah.
They give you some kind of tea. And at first, things just seem a little odd. And then eventually, you're starting to realize that
you got to get the heck out of there.
Yeah, you need to hightail it. So, but if you can put up with all of that, they say, and this makes it sound even more like a horror movie. It says, you must be willing to come with an open mind, and you must be okay with being filmed during the event. That's the requirements. If you'd be interested in applying, we can send you the link to that.
Are there any other options?
How about Hong Kong?
Hong Kong,
not the largest country, but they are also offering 500,000 free flight tickets to tourists this year. And you also could be eligible to receive Hong Kong goodies, which includes up to $13 to spend at area restaurants, bars, and attractions.
Well, $13 will take you a long way in Hong Kong. That doesn't sound like much here, but in Hong Kong, you're getting 3 or 4 meals there.
You live like a king with $13. That is literally what it says, but That is also, again, we can send you that if you want. But, still flying to Hong Kong for free.
I think that one sounds better because in Finland, then you have all the things you have to do there. It sounds like a lot more of an ask.
But it's all inclusive, though.
Yeah, but Hong Kong is like, we'll just get you out of here for free, and then you do whatever you want with your $13. Where in Finland, they're like, you have to come out here, but we're also going to film you, and we're going to make you happy. And I don't really want to have to
it's intimidating.
Deal with all that. I want to have my own vacation.
And then also Taiwan is also offering, let's see, they're giving $165 to 500,000 individual tourists and up to $658 to 90,000 tour groups.
Can you imagine if you signed up with some of your buddies and one of your buddies got $500,000 and you got $165?
Yeah.
Seems like a wide range.
That is, it could be way different. But if you want to go, if you ever want to see Taiwan, I probably recommend doing it sooner than later, don't you think?
Yeah, I would be, I guess you might as well hop on it now.
You don't know how that international situation will transpire through our lifetime. So if you want to do it, probably better to do it sooner than later. So there you go. Finland, Hong Kong, Taiwan. Don't say we didn't give you options for how you can have an affordable vacation internationally.
You'll be so happy.
Your For You page would be a lot more fun if it had Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah. Follow at RadioU Official on TikTok. The Riot. Radio U.
We got a food fight going on The Riot. This is from our friends in the band The Protest. Isaiah, you know this. We talked to Josh from The Protest going back, I don't know, a couple weeks back. And they have their new coffee blend. They call it the Death Stare blend. We said, oh, you should get us some. And he did. And so now we have it. Now, I don't usually wait this long in the morning to have my coffee, so I need it. I don't know if that will affect how I feel about the taste.
You get a little bit more of a boost at the end of the show.
Yeah.
It'll linger a little longer.
Right. The end of the show, I might be better or maybe worse I don't know the effects. So we'll see. But this is called their Death Stare blend. And would you put creamer in it?
I did, of course, yes.
Yeah. So
did not, right?
I did not.
See, perfect. Now we have both sides of it.
We have both sides, and this is it's fair too, because if you were to drink it black versus how you always drink other coffee with cream, that wouldn't be fair.
No.
It just wouldn't be fair. And I always drink mine black, so this is a fair representation of the Protest new coffee, Death Stare blend. You ready to go in?
I am ready, yes.
All right. Smooth.
Creamy.
It's not too, it's a dark roast, they say, but it's not too in your face. Maybe that's just because I brewed it really well. I just found a really good balance. That could be my doing, but I think it actually is quite nice.
I think it's pretty good. I won't lie. I think it's pretty good.
Do you think it's better? Normally, as of late, we have a Kirkland medium roast that is our normal coffee that we just brew every morning. Better or worse than what you get at Costco?
See, I don't know. I can't really tell the difference. For me,
you're just tasting creamer, aren't you?
I'm tasting a lot of creamer.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think it tastes good. Is it like a standout cup? I would say it's a good cup of coffee.
It's a solid cup.
I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, this blew me away. But at the same time, I think it's definitely a solid, good cup of coffee. You wouldn't be upset with it.
I enjoy it. As I've been drinking black coffee for a long time now, and some cups of black coffee are easier to get through than others.
Yeah, you would have a better feel for it because you're drinking it black, where I'm drinking it with creamer, and so the creamer's carrying it.
Almost any coffee can taste okay if you just want it to taste like creamer, but for this cup of coffee, drinking it black, I enjoy it. So I give it a nice solid, it's a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to rate it. I would say if we bought it and that's what we rolled with, I'd be totally fine with that.
I'd really appreciate if this was our everyday coffee. Now we do have a bag, but it's not going to last long. It's, they come in the small size. It's not Costco size. So we're going to go through it as a company very quickly.
Well, that's good though. It means it's good.
Yeah, we're going to keep making it though. That's really up to me because I make the coffee.
Yeah, you make the coffee every morning. So if Hudson wants to make it, then we'll make it. But overall, it's a good cup of coffee.
It's definitely a good cup of coffee. Thank you to the Protest for providing that for us and for providing us with good music as well. Go check out the interview we did with Josh from the Protest.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
All right. Isaiah, can you get your phone out?
It's out already.
You got it out?
Oh, it's been out.
Isn't it?
It's been out.
When I'm talking, your phone is out.
Mm-hmm.
I know how it goes. So I don't know if you've seen the TikToks going around that claim to make your phone feel cold. Have you seen those?
I haven't seen them, but I'm looking at them right now.
And try one out and see. Some of them are sound, so we can't really do that on the radio, but some of them are just visual. So if you want to go ahead, pull up some of those on your phone and see if they actually work on your phone.
Well, these are so dumb.
They're dumb?
They're so dumb.
Because they work?
No,
because they're working on you?
I think maybe if I could hear the sound, maybe, then it would make a difference. But some of the ones that are just the pictures, it's just showing me an air conditioner.
Yeah. And you know what air conditioners do?
They make it cold.
Make things cold.
But like they're just like bad pictures of ice and snowflakes.
I
assume there's a sound with it.
I think it's like an air conditioner sound, probably. I
there's no
tested
way.
it though. If you could see, I put my hand on my phone while I was watching the air conditioner, and then now not watching it. You can tell a difference.
No, you cannot.
Yes, you can. And I'm not even watching it on my phone. I'm watching it on a computer, touching my phone. I think it makes a difference.
It's just a mind thing.
It is supposedly a mind thing. If you look at the comments, it's a bunch of people saying the placebo effect, which is not what the placebo effect is.
No.
It's really the power, basically the power of suggestion is what you're getting. The placebo effect is in regards to medicine.
Yeah.
That's your body. This is just us.
Making you feel better than you
see something and you think something because of that. But I think technically they work because they say it will make your phone feel cold. And to you, if it feels cold, it doesn't say it will make your phone colder. It says it'll make it feel cold.
And in your mind, even if you just make it a little bit colder, then if it feels colder, I guess.
So what else can we apply this to?
Almost anything.
Oh, what do you like? Give me an example.
Like if I said, "Oh my gosh, Hudson, that screen in front of you feels really cold," or it feels like it's gotten colder,
and you made the sound of an air conditioner,
and then you put your hand on it, there's a good chance you could be like, maybe it does feel kind of cold.
Can you make an air conditioner sound?
I don't think so. It just sounds like
Try it.
Something running.
Like it worked.
That was pretty decent.
It worked.
That did. It kind of felt like there was a breeze coming by my neck when you did that.
Even when I'm the one making the sound.
Yeah.
I think it's working.
I think that, obviously, if you want something to feel colder, then I guess it can if you convince yourself it does. But at the same time, these TikToks are silly.
I think the real test of this will be in the summertime when it gets real warm. And then it's like, then you watch videos of air conditioners and you see if you feel colder.
And all of a sudden, you're like, I need to cool down. Let me get those TikToks pulled up again.
It's so hot. I don't have air conditioning in my car or in this house or whatever.
You're putting your phone on your neck.
Because
you feel so hot.
It's working.
Yes. Cool me down.
I feel like this just kind of shows how dumb we are.
Yeah, generally. It does. How dumb you can, how easily we can be entertained on TikTok.
Easily fooled. And also, this segment also shows how dumb we are.
But it's also
me making an air conditioner sound.
How many people will be in the comments saying this is actually working is the wild part to me. And they're being dead serious.
Hudson and Isaia seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, Radio U.
If you plan on going to any vegan festivals anytime soon, there's going to be one notable thing possibly missing.
Really?
Yeah. Were you planning on going to any vegan festivals?
You think I'll notice the difference? I've been to a lot of vegan festivals.
If you're an aficionado of the vegan festivals, you should pick up on this, but it might be something you'll be happy about. Baby goat snuggling. Previously a staple of events such as the Bear Creek Mountain Resort's first annual vegan festival or Allentown Veg Fest at Cedar Beach Park. Those are in Pennsylvania.
And those are big. They do a lot of goats snuggling at these vegan events.
You might expect that. That is something that might be found at a typical vegan festival. But the family farm that is in charge of providing the goats, the baby goats for snuggling, the Steinmetz family farm, they are at the center of a controversy right now. Because they have made the decision that they will not be providing baby goat snuggling services at these upcoming vegan festivals in Pennsylvania. The reason being is because some animal rights activists and vegan extremists have said that this baby goat snuggling practice is exploitive to the animals.
I knew that you were going to say some crazy stuff like that.
They've ruined baby goat snuggling for all people that would like to go to the vegan festivals. They've ruined it.
Because they don't think that the baby goats want to be snuggled.
I guess the goats aren't able to sign off on this.
They can't consent to this snuggling.
That's right. It's snuggling without consent for the goats. And so the family farm, the Steinmetz family farm, has received so much blowback regarding the service they offer that they have decided they're not going to offer it.
See, this is the kind of stuff that just really just irks me.
Makes
the wrong
you not
way.
want to go to vegan festivals?
I just cannot believe that sometimes we just cater to the minority like this. Like, just a couple people can just ruin such a fun thing. Like, if I went to the vegan festival, not that I am a big vegan or anything.
But it's still fun. It could be a fun festival.
But you know what? Maybe if they've got baby goats snuggling, like they've got some things there that maybe anybody, even if you're not vegan, could be a fun thing, right?
Or maybe you go with a friend who's a vegan to be supportive.
Maybe with your son or something. If you have a young kid and you just want them to go see some animals, then you take them to the vegan festival.
Some animals that are supposedly be treating nicely.
Yeah, and they get to hold a goat. Good memory. I get a picture with my son with a goat. Sounds like fun. Yet these people are like, well, these goats, maybe they don't want. Did we even consider the goats' feelings? Are you out of your mind?
Why wouldn't the goat?
That's the wildest thing I've ever heard.
Why wouldn't the goat want to be snuggled?
Like my dog Jim, he gets to make no decisions. If I want to dress Jim up like whatever, I dress him up like whatever. If I want to put a sweater on, I put a sweater on him. If I want to feed him this, I'll feed him that, whatever it is, because he's my dog. And so when it comes down to these animals, like a goat, as long as you're not doing anything crazy with them, you're literally snuggling a goat. Like, you really think they're going to be upset about that? They probably want the attention. Like, wouldn't you think?
And additionally, the guy who runs the farm says he closely monitors the animals to make sure they're okay with all the attention. And he says they enjoy it.
I bet they love it.
What would he say otherwise, though?
Yeah, that's also true.
That is true. Can you imagine him being like, actually, the goats hate it.
They hate every second of it.
I can make a quick buck off of it, so...
Like, it makes sense if you're, like, maybe the people, maybe, like, if young kids or, like, a young child is, like, holding the goat and maybe it's, like, pulling it to yours or doing something that, like, the goat wouldn't like. That's different. Right. But as long as
you got to have supervision.
Yeah, you have someone monitoring it, making sure it's okay, then it's fine, and this is ridiculous.
I didn't know you were so passionate about baby goats.
I'm passionate about these people that just ruin things. The minority that ruins it for the majority, the worst people.
I'll tell you who's really ruining it, and it is the owners of these baby goats, the farm, the Steinmetz family farm. They're ruining it by kowtowing to the pressure.
Don't cater to these people.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You proudly let those goats be snuggled.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Isaiah has a howitzer of a question for the show today. Don't you, Isaiah?
I have a grand one. So my question is, we talked about this a little bit earlier on with Aldi, right? We talked about how they have a lot of things that aren't name brand. And so it got me thinking on what are some things that when you go to the grocery store, it has to be name brand. Like those things you just like, you have to splurge a little bit more on because like the off-brand version of it just doesn't even come close.
Yeah, the off-brand, the Kroger brand, the Aldi brand, not good enough.
Walmart brand, whatever your preferred shopping location is.
Food Lion brand.
Because for
Safeway.
Me, the majority of the time, I'm cool with the Kroger brand, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine
I'm
with
the
me.
same way.
Like, I'm fine with the cheaper option. I always try to go cheaper when I go to the grocery store because I usually don't care. And I think it's all pretty much the same. But there's, like, a couple choice things that there's no way I'm not getting the name brand. Like, I have to.
You want to throw a couple out there, and of course, we need people to text in at 8772 RadioU.
Yeah, I'll throw a couple out, then I'll save one. One of the ones is mac and cheese. For me, but I have a couple of different brands I'm willing to do.
Okay.
I think
that's different. I think sometimes store brand isn't good enough is different from has to be a specific name brand.
Yes. Okay. I think like for me, mac and cheese, like I'm either doing Kraft or I'm doing Velveeta.
Okay.
Those are my two. I'm not doing Kroger brand. I can't do it.
Okay.
And the next one, chips. The only exception I'll make is for tortilla chips. I'm fine doing Kroger brand for tortilla chips, but every other chip, I'm not doing like the Kroger Walmart brand of just regular potato chips.
I think that was one I considered. I think specifically to Kroger, they do have a kettle, if you get their kettle cooked chips.
The kettle cooked chips, yes.
Not bad. But I would include tortilla chips. You have to go with specific brands for tortilla chips. They're not all the same. And I don't think Kroger brand or like store brand always rises to Tostitos level.
Tostitos level is good. It's really good. I will still, for tortilla chips, I'll still go down to Kroger brand because I'm dipping them in queso, and usually that can carry the weight of the chip.
That's a good point.
But on potato chips, I'm not usually doing a dip with those. So then in that case, I'm not going to go with the off-brand. I'm going to go name brand. And then the last one I'll do, and this one also is one of those that I have a couple that I'll consider, but it's ketchup. Heinz is going to be a top one.
I thought when you brought this up, I thought that's the top thing people are going to text.
Really? Because I have something.
Ketchup.
I have something that I'll bring up in the next break.
Okay.
That I think is unmatched.
Something you're sitting on.
Something I'm sitting on that I think is unmatched. It's agreed across the board. Every single person goes name brand on this. And if you go off brand on this right here, your children are not fans of you. Your friends won't invite you to parties because
unless they don't know any better.
If you bring this, there is no way anyone is going to respect you. There's no way.
I think ketchup, I know there's strong opinions even around this workplace that you have to go with Heinz. I think that's Heinz is overrated. I think Heinz is good. I just think when you truly get down to it,
there's some other ones.
The store brand in many cases will do just fine. But I want to hear more from everyone else at 877-2-RADIO-U. Your thoughts on items that you cannot go store brand on. You cannot go off brand. You have to go name brand. Text in at 877-2-RADIO-U.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
What is one item that you will not buy store brand / you have to buy a name brand version of this item? Some of the ones you threw out already, Isaiah, you said ketchup is a clear one. You said, what were the other ones you said?
Mac and cheese. Potato chips. Those are my top
Potato
three.
chips is the closest one so far. I think ketchup and mac and cheese, I'm totally fine with store brand.
Got it.
So here's what we got coming in the text. Todd, a unique choice. Cheerios.
He
says Cheerios.
Some cereals. I'm okay with that. I think for cereals as well, I've always been a name brand guy.
I think it depends on the cereal. I think name brand or store brand Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you can do just fine. I think for store brand Cocoa Pebbles, it's not the same. You got to go with the one with Fred and Barney on it.
I can imagine that the store brand Cheerios probably aren't very good. You have to get probably name brand for that one.
Real name brand Cheerios are bad enough on their own. Okay. Owen says Oreos.
That's mine.
That was the one?
That was the one that if you bring the Great Value Oreos or the Kroger brand Oreos, your friends just despise you. Like if I invite you to a party and everyone else is bringing like Ruffles and Doritos and you show up at my house with some Walmart Oreos, you might as well just not have brought anything. No one's eating those. Are you serious?
The thing I hated the most was when you were a kid and you'd go to like some kind of gathering or whatever, and they didn't even have Oreos. It was like those chocolate. Sometimes they'd have one chocolate, one vanilla cookie.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they're supposed to be similar to Oreos, but they were not the same. Obviously it's a different cookie, but they were an Oreo replacement, but they couldn't replace the Oreo.
If I was a little kid and I asked my parents to get a snack that I was going to bring to a party, and my mom and dad handed me the Kroger brand Oreos, I would be like, how am I supposed to make friends? You want me to show up with these and have everybody in third grade hate me? That's what we're doing? I'm going to put my stamp of approval on these store brand Oreos. There's no way you're bringing those to a party.
Yeah.
If those are in your cupboard right now, you should get rid of them before somebody sees those in there. I'll tell you right now, they're leaving your house.
That is, I'm with you on that. Tim with a lukewarm take. He says, I will not buy store brand sodas, but I will drink them.
Oh, okay.
If they're offered, he will partake.
That's a good one too.
But he won't purchase the store brand sodas.
I'm with that. I think if you're getting Coke or Pepsi or Mountain Dew or whatever, because people are they're pretty adamant about whatever their pop is. Know people who are Pepsi people or Coke people, that's what they drink, or if they're Diet Dr. Pepper, whatever it is. And so if you're getting the Kroger, Walmart brand of pop, if it's there at a party, I'm not mad about it. But at the same time, I'm not bringing it either.
Chris on that same wavelength, he says citrus drop instead of Mountain Dew.
Completely
he has
different.
to go Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Chris had a different one, and this is one I totally fully endorse. Pop-Tarts.
That's a
Store
good
brand
one.
Pop-Tarts are not the
Trash.
toaster pastries. no good whatsoever. That's an Oreo territory.
That's a really good one.
Really bad. Jason, I also endorse this one, is tomato soup. He goes with Campbell's. I think chicken noodle soup is the one where it's more important to go with a store brand or a name brand.
Okay.
You might even want to go above Campbell's because like you can really tell a difference between
a good soup and a bad soup.
Yeah, that's for sure. And then we also have a text in about jelly that you need to go with Smuckers. Smuckers over Welch's.
See, there's a couple of different jellies. I think there's some jellies that are really bad that I'm against. And then there's a couple that I'll do that I'm okay with. Even like Kroger brand jelly is the one I usually go with. But I prefer that over some of the other ones. I would do Kroger brand and I would do Welch's. I would probably not do Smuckers.
You know what? It's surprising I haven't seen anyone texting about, not that I disagree, but nobody's texted in about peanut butter.
I know. I thought about that too.
I thought peanut butter would be where people would be really loyal, particularly to Jif, but some people really like Skippy or Peter Pan, I think.
Which I go Kroger brand.
I always go Kroger brand. And,
I think it's good.
Yep, it's a better deal. I mean, if Jif is on sale, or any of them,
consider.
I will consider it. But this is a good question though. It's really got me thinking, and it's got me thinking that generally I'm pretty easy to please. I will more often than not will go with the store brand.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm easy to please as well, unless you bring those Oreos. If you bring those Oreos, we're no longer friends.
The fake Oreo. Oh, the worst. You bite into it, and it's like lemon filling.
Oh my gosh.
Ruined childhood right there.
Carry on. No longer invited to the pregame. Like, you're out, dog.
Hey, they're already eating anyways. Might as well do it on the show. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson. RadioU.
Blue sky dating season. That's what time it is. We're heading into prime dating time, Isaiah.
Blue sky dating time.
Yeah, this is going to be huge. Have you heard of blue sky dating before?
I have not.
Blue sky dating is not a new app. It's not it's really it's a season is what it is. Blue sky dating is what we're heading into now as we get into spring and the weather becomes nicer and the days become longer. And according to a new study from the dating app Badoo, have you heard of the app Badoo?
I'm not familiar with Badoo.
Badoo, you haven't gotten on that one
I'm
yet.
familiar with the bidet, if that's similar.
Not related at all. Not related, but just totally different things. Badoo did some recent dating research, maybe to make themselves a better dating app. But they found that as we head into spring, get out of the so-called cuffing season, people are feeling more optimistic about their dating lives. For example, they say that, this is just straight up, 74% of single people say that they think the longer days and warmer weather have a positive impact on their dating.
Really?
74%. They also say that people feel safer and feel that dating is easier during this time of year, as again the days get longer and weather starts warming up. It makes it easier to hang out, obviously outdoors.
It does.
Do you think that it gives you more options when it comes to what you do on a date?
It definitely gives you more options
versus wintertime.
Like you can go outside, you can go do lots of outdoorsy things.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in the wintertime, you don't have those outdoorsy availableness, the things you can do. But I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the best time for dating.
Why do you say that?
I think that going into the wintertime is the best time.
Wintertime, like after Thanksgiving?
I'm thinking right around, even just before Thanksgiving.
Right, like before Thanksgiving.
And then when the fall is hitting, that is when it is true the most likely time to find a girlfriend/boyfriend.
Why do you say that?
Because I think when the summertime hits, right, everybody's got vacations lined up. They want to go to the pool.
Makes it harder to line up schedules, you're saying.
And I think in the summertime, too, there's a lot more fun stuff people can do with their friends where they don't feel like maybe hanging out at the house with a significant other, right? Where when the fall rolls around, everyone's ready to just watch movies and relax with somebody they like. Where when it's summertime, you have a lot more freedom to go do fun things with your friends and not just hang out at the house. Not that you can't do that with your significant other too, but I think that the fall time, it almost forces you into it a little bit.
I see what you're saying.
Summertime, you don't have to. You have lots of things you can do. Lots
in the
of choices.
summertime, you don't feel so lonely.
You don't.
Because you can do stuff with your friends, but when fall rolls around, you might start to feel a little bit of that loneliness.
It's cold. It's gloomy out.
It starts to rear its head.
Yeah, and then you're like, maybe I should try to find a girlfriend or something to make me happy. Where in the summertime, you're like, you know what? Me and my friends, we can just go to the pool on Saturday.
That's right. You aren't even thinking about how you're single. Even unless all your friends have significant others.
Then you are.
And you're the third wheel or
That's
whatever.
just year-round
or the
dating
seventh
for you.
wheel. Yeah, that is difficult, but that's an interesting theory you have. Now, the dating app Badoo might have a different, their survey might say differently, but you make a compelling case. You do. I think you might be right that like October, Thanksgiving, between that time.
But either way, there's lots of good dates you could go on right now.
That's right.
I think you can go on a lot of dates right now. Will you end up being serious with somebody? I don't know.
Well,
maybe.
It does say here that people feel better about themselves. Like the survey says people are feeling better about themselves at this time of year. So maybe that helps your prospects.
Your standards are going to be higher.
Unless you're trying to take advantage of people, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend that.
Lots of outdoor dates.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
Yesterday was an eventful day in the NBA. LeBron James has been suffering from a foot injury. There was talk at some point that he might not be able to play the rest of the season, or maybe if the Lakers sneak into the playoffs, he might be able to play then. And then, triumphantly, heroically, LeBron James made his return yesterday for the Lakers game against the Bulls, still with a few weeks left to go in the season.
Impressive. Extremely impressive.
A lot of good it did them. They still lost to a team that may not make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, so at home. So not that great, but it is impressive that he was able to get back out there. Then he had some interesting quotes after the game. See, again, there was talk of LeBron when he initially injured his foot that he might need season-ending surgery. So apparently LeBron went and talked to two different doctors who both told him he needed that season-ending surgery. But then, and this is according to LeBron, he saw the LeBron James of feet, who was able to tell him that he can avoid surgery and rehab and do whatever he needed to do to get LeBron back on the court and ready to go.
So a fantastic foot doctor is what I'm hearing.
It sounds like it.
One of the best ever.
Possibly, probably the best ever, based off of the quote. But what do you think of that quote saying you're LeBron James and you're calling someone else the LeBron James of feet?
I mean, I think it shows that LeBron thinks highly of himself, which
Clearly,
is fair.
He does have a tattoo that says King James.
I think that over the course of he's had now 38 years old, over the course of the last 20 years, he's probably earned that.
He's proven a lot.
I think that he has earned being able to say statements like that.
Yeah, and obviously the debate would be, well, Michael Jordan, maybe is the Michael Jordan of feet better? And you know that Michael Jordan would say that about himself. You know what I mean? Like if Michael Jordan had a foot thing, he would go, I went to the Michael Jordan of foot doctors.
And people would eat that up too.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh my gosh, he's so courageous.
It if Michael Jordan said that. LeBron James saying it.
His mindset is so different. Like it's crazy that like he thinks like he's so great. Like which he obviously is, like greatness.
Actually, the only question is, would Michael Jordan ever give a foot doctor that much credit?
No.
I don't know if he would.
I don't think so. But people would love it if he said that.
They definitely would.
But if LeBron says it, not so much love given by a lot of people.
Do you think the LeBron James of feet, I don't know who the LeBron James of feet is. We don't know his name. What if it's like Justin
Smith?
Yeah. Do you think Justin Smith was like, yeah, the Justin Smith of basketball came to see me about his foot?
Oh, yes. You know, he had to like plaster it at his whatever his workplace is now. It says like the LeBron James of feet.
Normally they have their diplomas from whatever colleges they went to. He has just a thing that says the LeBron James of feet.
An endorsement from LeBron. His whole office should just have pictures of LeBron in there.
That's right.
Because he's never had something better happen to his career than what just happened.
Yeah, but it is crazy that LeBron would do this, though. Like, it's a crazy thing to say.
It is a crazy thing to say.
Like, what if I said I went to the Hudson of feet? What would that tell you?
I don't even know what that would mean.
Well, I mean, the best in his field, obviously.
I mean, clearly, obviously.
Yeah. But that's not the type of thing that I would say, though.
Yeah, but you're not LeBron
I'm not
either.
that full of myself.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like pretty inarguable. He's like a top two.
Well, it's pretty inarguable. I'm in the top two
of this office?
Of radio professionals.
RadioU?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Now, I don't know if you saw this story, Isaiah, from back in January. A 29-year-old South Korean woman was caught posing as a high school student in New Jersey. She was going to New Brunswick High School. Just a few days into her time at the high school, they discovered by going over her birth certificate, they realized with some other documents as they went through that she actually was 29 years old. She didn't belong in high school. Did you hear that? Did you hear about it?
I have not heard about any of this.
Okay. Well, that's the tip of the iceberg of the story. Is she's 29 years old, went back to high school, was enrolled and attended high school for several days before she was finally caught. And if you look at this woman, it's understandable. Like they say that her appearance, she looks young at the age of 29, young enough that she fit in. That's not what gave it away. It's not like she rolled in there and they're like, well, that student looks a little, are they like, what's going on with them? That wasn't the case. But what they did find out was obviously some of the documents that she provided did not line up. They did not match up. So that's how they were able to catch her. They also say that she was, although she wasn't, she was making other students uncomfortable and weird in the way she was hanging out with them.
Makes sense.
But not in a like dangerous way, just in a, well, that's an odd behavior for a high school student type thing.
Yeah.
Which, that's impressive. That
she was able to pose as a high school student.
But also
at 29.
is impressive that she was odd enough to stand out, because high school students can be pretty odd.
Yeah.
And a lot of that will just slide. But what they found now, like as the details have come out about the story, they found out the kind of reasoning of why she did this. And the reason is she had recently gone through a divorce. All of her family, we mentioned she's South Korean. All the entire rest of her family is in South Korea. So she, according to her attorney, was going back to high school because that's where she felt safe. That was an environment growing up. She enjoyed high school. It was a safe, familiar environment. And so she was trying to relive the glory days, get back to somewhere she felt like she could thrive. And that place, high school.
Well, that's pretty odd.
That's a little unusual, isn't it?
That's pretty interesting. I think maybe that's not the best idea. I mean, if you wanted some nostalgia, you could have just driven by. Maybe go to a basketball game. I don't think you need to enroll in the school.
But there's just certain things you can only do by enrolling, you know?
Yeah, like go to class.
Yeah, exactly.
Be in PE. Like, I think those are things that you can just, if you just go there, go to a football game or something, be in the crowd. You don't have to be with the students. I think that's weird.
Do you think, obviously she has some, and her attorney even acknowledges this, some emotional issues that she needs to deal with, but they don't, like she could face up to 5 years in prison.
That's aggressive.
With the charges that she's facing for doing this. And so, yeah, that feels like a lot. And so they're kind of saying
5 years in prison, that's a wild.
That would be a lot time for attending high school for a couple days.
You're 34.
But think about it. If it was a dude, though, obviously it'd be like, this guy's a creep. Get him out of here. Put him in jail. So I understand it, although I don't know if that feels justified in this case.
Considering she didn't really do anything other than just show up to school.
Yeah. Maybe she just wanted to learn.
Like, I think like a year would be...
But I have an idea, though. There could be people like this. Like, that's not unusual for adults, like full-grown adults, to want to go back as like, you know, the Uncle Rico situation where, man, I just wish they think about high school and they think about how much happier they were back then.
Yeah.
Whether they actually were or not, you don't know. What if we set up some kind of experience where it allowed adults to attend high school, as in like with other like-minded adults?
I guess you could.
So it's a whole high school scenario.
You could just re-enroll in college if you wanted to. There's older people that do that.
Like the Extremely Goofy movie.
Yes, exactly.
Just like that?
Yeah, exactly.
That turned out well for Goofy for Max eventually in the end. So.
Yeah, I think if you wanted, I mean, you could pay a lot of money and just go back to college, hang out there. Did you see how
she college and high school is different.
It is different. It's different. But at the same time, I think if you've done high school once, maybe you don't have to do it twice. I think once might be enough for you.
So you don't want to go back and relive the glory days?
I think I'm good on it, though.
Even if I come up with an experience that recreates high school for adults.
I like my life now here at Radio. You have accepted that I've moved on from the high school days. You see how she got in trouble, ended up getting caught? she attempted to sign herself out. And then they stopped her from doing so because she's a freshman in high school. And then she started screaming at them and told them she's 29. She wants to leave.
She couldn't hold it together very long.
She made it 4 days before having an explosion.
And if she loved high school so much, why didn't she just want to stay and hang out?
Exactly. Why'd she want to leave so early?
Yeah. Well, an odd situation to say the least.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.